Our Proceed halftime update. If you need seed, think Proceed. With me today, the owner of Proceed, Keith Peltier. Keith, great to have you with us.
Here I am in bison yellow.
Rocking the bison yellow today. That's good to see. Let's talk about your seed and obviously the impact that seed technology is having for farmers in your business.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about seed technology. Back in 1996, we started with Roundup Ready soybeans. Back in 1996, we had cell phones that probably weighed a half a pound. You probably were young enough, didn't even have a cell phone then, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
I was just graduating then, I think.
There you go. But anyway, and they stored about 100 numbers. Now cell phones, they're like a mini computer. And we've got technology in corn, we've got it in soybeans, we've got it in canola, cotton, even in papaya. And so all that technology is in there, GMO, safe, easy to eat, easy, no health issues.
And obviously talk about the benefits for farmers if you can real quickly.
Oh my gosh, benefits for farmers. So we're using actually less chemical than we used 20 years ago, both less insecticides because we both have rootworm and above ground insect protection pests. So yeah, we're doing things for the environment. Technology is great.
All right, quickly, any final score predictions here for the Jackrabbits Bison game?
Okay, you talked me into Bison only by 7.
Okay.
It was earlier Bison by 10, but I'll take Bison by 7.
All we know is it's going to be a very physical game. The conference has started. You know what that means with SDSU and NDSU. Keith, thank you so much for being here. We really, really appreciate it. Again, if you need seed, think Proceed. Stay with us when we come back. First half highlights right after this.
Hello and welcome into the Proceed halftime report. Myself, Alex Egan. I'm joined by Chris Berg. An exciting first half, 21-0 our halftime score. NDSU leading South Dakota State. Let's show you the first half highlights. Here is the teams go down to Brookings and take North Dakota State gets off to a fantastic start here in the first quarter, capping off a 70-yard drive. King Frazier with the 3-yard touchdown.
Love to see that. These guys are obviously taking it to the house. When we talked in the keys of the game, gotta get off to a fast start. Clearly have done that. The other thing we talked about was making Lujan get some happy feet. Love to see him getting hard, get hit hard and often.
Yeah, defense playing well here as you see him getting taken down in the end zone there for an incompletion. Lujan not having himself the best half ever. And part and problem is Nate Tangway there getting his big paw in the way in the throwing lanes. The defense, Chris, is doing a fantastic job of getting into passing lanes, getting into running lanes, and here we see the North Dakota State offensive line doing just the exact opposite, opening up lanes. Here's Lance Dunn with a big run. It
was great to see a big run from Lance Dunn, but that was one of the few of the first half. I mean, Carson Wentz was on fire. I think only 3 incompletions. One of them, obviously, a drop down the sideline, which he put right in Shep's bucket. Should have been, obviously, a big completion.
And we'll see that as we take a look at the second quarter. Just 7-0 after the first quarter. In the second quarter now, and Carson Wentz in the offense going back to work. Here is a throw to Nate Moody. What a catch down inside the 5-yard line. Puts the Bison in business as you see Carson rallying the troops up. 2 plays later, it's that man, Chase Morlock. His first rushing touchdown of the season for the running back.
That is stunning to me because obviously he's been on fire through the year. I think he's got 4 wide receiving touchdowns, but there's his first one on the ground. Again, great throw, great catch there by Moody.
Here is the play that you were talking about earlier, Chris. What a pass here by Carson Wentz, and just can't finish the catch.
Man, we call that as a QB just working on dropping it right in the bucket. That's exactly what he did. Unfortunately, Shep there, typically a sure-handed receiver, just couldn't hold on to it.
And the defense flexing their muscles. Again, one of my keys to the game, flex your muscles. This is just a 4-man rush. Lujan has nowhere to go.
They've been getting pressure on him the entire game, and you can just see in Lujan's eyes when you watch him getting up from the turf. He's like, I don't think I like this too much. By the way, Winicky, who we talked so much about in the pregame show and all week long, 1 catch, 12 yards. Great job by the NDSU defense.
Luke Alberts tacks on a receiving touchdown right towards the end of the half to give us our 21-0 halftime score. Let's go ahead and look at our first half stats brought to you by the North Dakota State Seed Department and your North Dakota certified seed producers. 21-0 our score. Wentz, 14 of 19 for 140 yards and a touchdown right there at the end. Lujan just 4 of 16 for 43 yards. Now, he's not getting a lot of help. He's had a lot of receivers touch the ball and drop the ball. He's had a lot of drops, but he's seeing some pressure out of this NDSU defense.
But not only is he seeing pressure, but you want some of these wide receivers, they got, the alligator arms where they don't want to go across the middle. They don't want to stretch them out because they can hear the footsteps. They know that they're about to get lit up, and we've seen that a couple times today. In fact, when we were watching the half with DJ, he said, that's the first big hit I've really seen this season by NDSU defense.
Yeah, North Dakota State dominating the of time of possession, 20 minutes to 9 minutes. It's been all North Dakota State in this first half. 21-0 is our halftime score. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take you around the valley, including checking in on North Dakota State's next opponent, Northern Iowa. Program you know a thing or two about there, Chris Berg. Stay with us here on the Proceed Halftime Report. Welcome back inside the Proceed Halftime Report. I'm Alex Egan. Missouri Valley Football Conference kicking off conference play this weekend. Let's get you around the valley, and we start with Northern Iowa at Illinois State. Illinois State has yet to lose in their newly renovated stadium, and they jump out to an early lead. First quarter, Marshawn Coprich, from 1 yard out. Redbirds go up 7-0 after the PAT, and then in the second quarter, Coprich again from 2 yards out this time, 14-0 Illinois State. We go to the board. Northern Iowa gets 13 points, but it's not enough. Illinois State comes away a winner, 21-13. So Northern Iowa goes to 2-2 on the season, 0-1 in conference play. Illinois State improves to 3-1. Indiana State beating up on Missouri State today, 56-28, the final there. Youngstown State goes to South Dakota. Bo Pelini picks up his first Missouri Valley Conference win as a coach for the Penguins. 31-3 the score over South Dakota. And a nail-biter, Western Illinois wins by 1 over Southern Illinois. Two tough teams doing battle there. That is your look around the valley. When we come back, we're going to talk second half adjustments and then get you back out to Brookings, where the Bison lead 21-0 here at halftime. Stay with us. Welcome back inside the Proceed Halftime Report. Chris, it's hard to improve upon perfection, and I think North Dakota State played a pretty perfect half there against South Dakota State, leading 21-0 at half.
They look outstanding. Obviously, you got to go inside South Dakota State's locker room and think about what Coach Steegs is saying right now. A lot of things we probably can't say on this, halftime show. And I think the big thing that they're looking at is they've obviously got to protect Lewin. I mean, you can see he does not want to be in that pocket. He does not want to be dropping back. They're going to have to figure out a way to get him some mass protection. He can now hopefully start to hit Winicky downfield a little bit. Now, obviously, on the other side of the football as well, I think they've done a pretty good job of stopping the run, if you will. But then you've got to get some pressure on Carson Wentz. I mean, he's literally standing back and going, oh, you're not as open as I'd like you to be. So you know what? I think I'll just throw to you. And it's just, you're going to have to get some pressure on if they're going to come back.
And he's made some quality throws as well.
Great throws.
And that shows for him being 14
But again, when you got a guy like Carson Wentz and there's no pressure on you, it's a lot easier to, drop it in the bucket if no one's on your legs.
That's true. NDSU with 221 total yards in the first half to just 58 for South Dakota State. I mean, we've seen this 2 weeks in a row now, 2 games in a row. North Dakota State dominating in the first half, their opponent doing absolutely nothing.
No, and I think it goes back to their defensive line. They're getting pressure on, as you talked about with the first half highlights. Only 4 guys rushing, putting pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, they've done a great job of stuffing up the run. The DBs are doing a good job in coverage, but when you are limiting the time for a quarterback to look around the backfield and see who's open, creates a ton of havoc, and that's why they've only got 58 yards.
We make so much about NDSU's rushing offense, and as well it should be made. There is a lot of good things to come from NDSU's rushing offense, but I think what we're seeing here is South Dakota State is giving Carson Wentz the ability to pass. And it's a weird thing to say, hey, we're going to make Carson Wentz beat us.
But I don't think they said that. I think what they said is, hey, you know what, we're going to make these wide receivers beat us. Because, let's be honest, NDSU doesn't have a ton of deep threats. Yes, they've got good quality ball control wide receivers, but there's not a lot of guys who are going to stretch, take the top off the defense. I think they're saying, hey, let's try to keep everything in front of us. If they can beat us with the pass through sort of some ball control passing game, then so be it, and that's what's happening right now.
But just to illustrate the point, 140 passing yards for NDSU through the first half, just 81 on the ground. So obviously the passing game is being focused on. If you're NDSU, what do you do better in the second half?
I think you just continue with the game plan. Obviously, you continue to do what you can to stretch the defense. It may open up the run game a little bit more. The defense is playing super solid like they did 2 weeks ago against UND. I don't know if there's really, it's 21-0, We talked about getting an early start, and as you watch the teams getting off of the first half field, you could see the Brookings stands are kind of like, what just happened? We took them right out of the game.
Well, let's go back to the shocked fans in Brookings, the South Dakota State fans. Thanks for joining us on the Proceed Halftime Report. Have a good one.